Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a 1-year review of the Milwaukee ratchets and socket sets. Um, so I've been wanting to do this for a while. I wanted to make a reviews with certain tools and everything that I have back in the shop that I work at. So I work as a heavy-duty diesel mechanic, and I work on tractors and you pretty much name it. And I've been doing it for a year and a half, 2 years now. And I thought it'd be a really cool idea. So instead of buying brand new ratchets and like Torque Test channel or you know the massive majority of the videos out there, I wanted to use ratchets and everything for a full year, and then give you my personal opinions of them. Try to make things a little bit more relatable. Not really in a setting where ratchets are just being put to the test, broken, just like actual everyday use, things like that. Now, if you can imagine, it's kind of hard to work a full-time job and try to record, actually using the ratchets. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I hope you guys stick around. If you guys actually like this content, please leave a like. This is actually going to be a review, not not what I did to this guy. Now, I do want to get this again and do an actual review, but I like doing things for a year, using them, seeing what they're like. I just don't want to deal with this because I feel like this is going to be worse than the Harbor Freight. So I'm just going to get that out here and try to stay on topic. All right. So what was my experience like owning these ratchets for a year? Obviously, I've broken the 1/2 inch. This is not the ratchet's fault. This is user error. And I'll get into the story behind that a little later. All right. So here's the 3/8 ratchet that I've been kind of like my go-to. I do have some snap-ons and everything like that, but I still find myself kind of going back to this little guy. I think it's the perfect size. It's handled up pretty well, especially with the abuse that I give my tools around here. As you can see, it's dirty. I didn't want to clean them, didn't want to polish them. I just wanted you guys to see an actual working ratchet, working man's ratchet. And so I can just kind of go through and tell you what I like and what I dislike. With this guy, love it. Not a single issue. Now, the 1/2 inch, it's good. I liked using it whenever it wasn't broken. But the only issue is just the size of the head. Kind of made it a little weird getting little angles. And at the time, whenever I purchased these, there was no flex head option. And I'll get into those a little later. I'm going to bring that into the review, even though I just bought those a few months back. I think these are still fairly new. So that was my biggest gripe with this guy. It was just really big, kind of hard to get in those tight little areas, especially if you're working on diesels and stuff. You know how fasteners can be, where they can be real stubborn to get to. So I just kind of stuck with the longer 3/8 stuff, just because I feel like the heads were a little tinier and able to get into some places. Fantastic ratchet. I almost bought the extended reach one with a longer handle on it, but I just couldn't do it. Especially when I was going to school, I had to snap on discounts. I bought a lot of different ratchets. All right, so whenever you guys do purchase one of these ratchets, I think you can buy these solo, but I bought mine in the kit. I bought the 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch. The 1/4 inch, absolutely love that set. I didn't bring one of those ratchets with me just because it's a 1/4 inch ratchet. I actually have. So this is actually not the shop's, like the where I keep it at the actual garage. This is my home garages. I actually like this set so much that I went out and bought 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch to keep in here, just because I feel like the sizes, they really kind of cover everything that you'd possibly need, especially with the 1/2 inch stuff that goes over an inch for the shallows. But in the diesel world, you're using mainly 15/16 for the larger fasteners. Anything above that, I mean, you do have it, but for tractors and everything like that, 15/16 or 15/16 really good. Now, the biggest gripe that I have with the 3/8 set, this is actually 3/8. It only goes up to 7/8 for the deep well. You actually don't have a 15/16, so I mean, it is what it is. But I always just go for the 1/2 inch stuff because it does go up to 15/16 on that for the deep wells. Everything else, fine. Now, I will say this: if you're buying one of these kits, and yeah, I know there's a few pieces missing that's actually being worked with this with the diesel behind me. If you're gonna buy one of these sets, and you guys think like, oh wow, square ends, that's great, that's awesome. Maybe you can put a wrench on it, or I don't even know. I've never had a case where I've actually needed to put a wrench on something. It's just, I think it's just a gimmick. Now, I will say this about these sockets: if you drop it into an engine bay or into a tight area, you are more than likely not getting it back. Normal sockets are round. This is square. The round ones at least roll. The square, once they get hung up, they get hung up. I've lost quite a few sockets doing that on the other set. At least 3 from just dropping it into tight quarters. Just can't get it without taking a bunch of components off. So now, when the feature mechanic goes and starts pulling off a starter or something on a Pack R, because it's real tight down there, they're probably going to find a few of my sockets. And I'm sorry about my hands. I got off work. Like I said, this is real life shit. This is not, this is a working man's hand. I don't know. So it is what it is. Just bear with me here. And we'll keep on going through my my complaints here. Or complaints, pros, whatever you want to call them. All right, so back with the whole socket issue that I found whenever I was working on these. This is not really an issue. This is more of a user error or me being too cheap to actually buy impact sockets. Yes, I am going to say this. I've used these on impacts. Now, I can already tell that you guys are probably going to comment down there about how you shouldn't be doing that, but I do it anyway because why the fuck not? So this is the actual 16 half-inch that I use in the shop. And if you look closely, you can kind of see the inside where it's starting to round off from the impact gun. Now, like I said, this is a chrome socket. You're not supposed to do this. It would be perfectly fine, using anything else. It just makes it annoying because it falls off the impact. Again, I know I'm a dumbass. Just something that I know everyone usually does, in the shop environment. I've seen guys reach for their chrome sockets, whatever, it happens. Just something to bear in mind if you're planning on doing that too. Never had a socket split or shatter or do anything crazy. They've held up very well, and I guess I've used these on impact guns a lot. Probably doing things like that they really shouldn't be doing. Just to compare it to the new style. And as you can see, I've also used an impact on these ones too. It's just the way it is. All right, so here's the 1/4-inch little carrying case. It's gonna look exactly the same for the 1/4 or the 3/8 and a 1/2 inch. The other ones are up on the shelf. Trust me, they're the same. All right. So it's very simple. Let's try to unlock this first and see if it flips up. There's already unlocked because that's the way I am. All right, that's all it is. And then these trays here just kind of sit inside. So, if you need to take this to home or in the car or whatever, they have a nice little carrying case for them. I've never really used them. Like I said, the sockets that I buy, they stay in my toolbox at the garage. And then I have my own little set here. And then once I start to get trucks on the road and doing other things, maybe I'll take them out. Or if the channel gets big enough, we can go out and try to make some truck start. And this is gonna be an awesome feature to have. Just toss in one of the trucks and go. So if you're looking for something like that, like this for throwing in the truck, recommend it. I mean, for the quality that you're getting with these Milwaukees, the ratchets and the sockets, for the price point, I mean, you're much better off getting one of these than, going to Harbor Freight, which Harbor Freight's an entirely different topic, and I am just going to avoid that. Anyway, let's go on some other features that I've found to be quite helpful with this little set. All right, because I am just off work and extremely tired. It is like 2 o'clock in the morning here. I forgot to go over some things with this little set, and that's the extensions. Now, I didn't bring an extension from a work over to show you guys. They've held up great. No issues with the extensions. The only complaint that I have is I wish they were swivel, but it's a case. It's a normal socket set. I mean, most of them don't have swivels. I'm just being a retard. Anyway, now the little swivel over here. I think the 1/4 inch has one in it. The 1/2 inch does not. Yeah, so the 1/4 inch and the 3/8 have little swivels. The 1/2 inch does not have a little swivel. It's a nice little feature. Never really used it. It just kind of stays in my box. Never really found a case to really use these fuckers. But it's there if you want it, you know? It's kind of nice to have. Alright, so I've used this for over a year. You might be asking, you know, what other ratchets am I currently testing? This is, I hate to say it, I do not like the Milwaukee's flex head ratchets. It's just, I said it, I can't take it back, I've said it. So, you might be asking why. Why don't I like these? It's just, right, let's just do something like this. The goddamn size of the head for these flex heads, it's ridiculous. Now I can kind of understand, you know, for maybe strength, durability, but the mechanisms are both the same. All they really needed to do was just make this into a little flex head. I don't understand why they made it so goddamn thick, but they did. And like I said before, with this fucker, you can't really get into real tight areas with it to really break some heavy fasteners away. Which I understand, you know, 1/2 inch, you know, it would be applying a lot more torque. But they made the 3/8 even thick. Like with 3 fucking C's. I don't know. I've been trying to use this guy. I just don't like it. I love the locking feature down here. You know, that's cool. I just find this to be too thick for whatever I'm trying to do. You know, I'm trying to get into tight areas with it. You know, if it's outside the truck, you know, I'm able to get some more leverage on it and break it free. You know, cool. But most of the time, I'm in like real confined spaces. You know, you might not think about it on these tractors because everyone thinks diesel, big fasteners, easy to get to. But a lot of this stuff is really not easy to get to. It's, you know, I like to have a little bit more of a thinner profile. You know, it's just not there with these guys. But I'm gonna keep on trying so you guys can get some review entertainment out of it, if you call this entertainment. For all I know, this is fucking awful. And yeah, I wish I would have grabbed the 1/4 inch. Now the 1/4 inch, minty. Jesus, it's awesome what they did with that. They basically, it's this but a lot tinier. You know, like I said, I do love the locking mechanism here. I hate the snap-ons. I don't know if you ever seen like the snap-on ones where you have to push down, lock it to the side. This is a lot better. I used a 1/4 inch a lot, but these the 3/8 is just too big, way too big. So anyway, I think that's it. I mean, I've been using this guy for a while. Oh, there is one more thing I want to show you that I've kind of found, but I'll show you. You see, like this jumping into this and winging it, probably not the best move. So I just did a review, and I was probably gonna miss the important part: finish, and how are the mechanisms holding up. Now, I'm not tearing this apart. I've never tore this apart. It's never been oiled, and you know, it just lives in my box, and I use it. Now, I really wanted to see what the failure point of this guy was, and I can already tell you a lot. But one day I'll probably tear this down, maybe slap in a new kit, and see how that goes. But, so the finish. You can kind of see a little bit more dull than the brand new one, right? Just remember, this thing gets run over by creepers all the time. It lives underneath trucks. It's been dropped in oil bins, coolant bins. name the fluid, guarantee this ratchet's been dumped inside of it for whatever reason. So I'm actually kind of impressed with how this holds up. The snap-ons that I have, they're holding up better, but this is cheaper, you know, a lot cheaper. So just compare the two. You can see how shiny the new one is. Now I'm starting to use this in the shop, so it's not exactly brand new, but it is what it is. So the switch here, see how kind of stiff that can be? And then you just kind of twist it a little bit and freeze up. You're able to use it. I mean, it's might be a slight inconvenience. I've never really noticed it in the shop. This is one of those things that I noticed whenever I was just handling it, you know. I'm a brand new guy, like butter. I guarantee you if I oiled this up and tore it all apart, it'll probably just perform just as good as this guy here. But like butter. Even the switch, if I can get that to focus. I feel like these look a little different too. Just from, yeah. Like I said, this has been dragged through the concrete floor of the shop and just beat up. So for a ratchet to handle what I do to it every single day, it's pretty impressive. Now, let's see if we can hear this. Let's see which way it is going. It is still smooth as can be. Let's see what the new one does. You're just going to take my word for it. They feel exactly the same. Exactly the same. So whatever their mechanism they're using in here, it's awesome. Now, I will say this, the snap-ons feel 10 times better. But it should, because they've been doing it for a lot longer than these guys. I think these are the first ones that they tried to produce. So I'm going to go a little easy on them. Yeah, a little stiff. But that's probably all the grime and everything that's caked up inside of it. Really got to clean this. Look at my hands just from touching that guy. So, yeah. I would show you the 1/2 inch, but that's completely destroyed. And then the new ones, I feel like these mechanisms are exactly the same. And they feel exactly the same. So, alright, that's going to do it. If you guys like this honest review, please leave a like, leave a dislike, leave a comment, whatever you guys want to do. Just show me that you guys are interested in this, and if you do all that, and you like these honest year reviews, I have another tool here which I brought from the garage over to here because I have Milwaukee ratchets now that I'm testing. I'd love to do a review on this Husky, give you my honest opinions of it. So, alright, thanks for watching, guys.